I'm making this video tonight to show you some of the motorcycle gear that I have, what I like, and maybe some of the things that I don't like so much. We're going to start on the bottom and work our way up. So, here are my Icon Tarmac boots. These boots, they feel really great. I have worn them all day before, and I've worn them in temperatures over 100 degrees and under freezing, and really I've never felt too hot or too cold in these boots. One of the only gripes I have with them is that these are 12s and my foot fits really well, but my ankles are a little bit smaller, so they rattle around a little bit inside. But if you try to tighten this, too much, you don't have, I don't know if you can see that, you don't have a lot of Velcro to work with if you really try to cinch down on these. So I'd give these about a 4 out of 5. They're a little over $100. These are absolutely fantastic. I don't think I'll ever get a different pair of boots. Moving up to pants. I got these rev'it over pants. They keep me nice and warm in the wintertime. They have knee armor. And that's kind of where the positives stop, unfortunately. They were a little bit pricey. They don't have any armor except the knee armor. And the size that I normally wear in overpants, they felt a little bit too tight with my pants on underneath, so I went a size up, and they feel real baggy. They're not as comfortable or as well-fitting as I would hope. So I give these about like a 3.5 out of 5. These are some Joe Rocket Phoenix riding pants that I recently got to replace some Fieldsheer pants that I grew out of, gained some weight, didn't fit anymore. These breathe really nicely because of this mesh, and they fit pretty well. They have comfortable armor in the seat, and they have knee armor. Some of the negatives, you can see what boxers or shorts or pants that you're wearing underneath, you can see them right through the pants. And they are not the most comfortable pants that I've ever worn. They maybe only breathe a teeny bit better than my Fieldsheer pants. One other thing is these don't have a liner inside, so when the weather starts to get cool, you kind of can't keep wearing these. You have to swap to another pair of pants or wear something underneath this. Now, I don't have my Fieldsheer Titanium Airmesh with me today because I sold them to a friend when I grew out of them, but they were absolutely awesome. I bought the Joe Rockets thinking I'd try something new, when in hindsight, I should have just bought the Fieldsheers in a size up. I would say the Fieldsheers vent almost as well as the Joe Rockets, if not the same as the Joe Rockets, but you can't see through them. They seem to be a lot thicker, more durable. They have that liner, so you can wear them in cold weather. I might have worn an extra pair of pants under them, but I've worn those pants down into freezing temperatures and been very comfortable, and I feel very protected in those Fieldsheer. So I would give the Fieldsheer Titanium Airmesh 5 out of 5 in almost any riding condition, almost any temperature. Now on to jackets. I started with this Icon Contra, and it breathes pretty well. The mesh is not as see-through as the mesh on the Joe Rocket pants, so I feel like I've got more protection in it. These past few weeks we've had 90 and 100 degree days, and it doesn't seem like it vents really well in the 90s and 100s, but as soon as the weather starts getting cooler, you realize how much it actually does vent. I used to wear this even when the temperatures got down towards freezing, with a liner and maybe a few shirts and a hoodie underneath and some other stuff. So for a while, this was my jack of all trades. It's pretty good. I have a few problems with the build quality because when I first got it, there were lots of strings hanging loose, and now, after riding for a little while, the bottom of the zipper will pop undone. This Velcro piece stays in place, but the first few inches of the zipper on the bottom will pop out of the teeth. So I can't give this a 5 out of 5, probably give it 4 out of 5. Good overall jacket, just a few small gripes. This is my Joe Rocket Blaster jacket. This is leather, and it does have a liner, but I don't have it in right now. I got this on Craigslist for somewhere between, I think, $100 and $150. I think retail's close to $4. It's leather. It's heavy duty. It feels great. When you're wearing this thing, you really feel like you're Iron Man. You feel like you've got the protection you need. It's a little tight, but it's comfortable. As far as venting goes, it really doesn't vent, except these zippers here up on the tops of the arms. These do vent quite well, and when the weather's changing and it's cool at night or cool in the morning, I find myself opening and closing these quite a bit, just to get a little bit of that cool air flowing through. But this jacket, 5 out of 5 all day long. Excellent jacket. If you can find one in your size, pick it up. I probably wear this maybe 6 months out of the year. It's excellent. Let's talk gloves. There's one set of gloves here that I don't have anymore. I sold them with my old motorcycle, and they were Icon. They were one of the T-Maxes. They had a couple variations of them. They were leather, and I think goat maybe. Big titanium plate on the knuckles, titanium around the wrist bone, and the reason I didn't really like them so much was I ended up going a size up from where I normally go, because for the larges I couldn't get my hand through the cinch in the wrist. But for the extra larges I could fit, but then the rest of the glove was kind of big, and I probably should not have bought them, but I did, and they were really awkward because they were so thick and the fit was big. If you have a different sized hand, maybe it'll fit you well and you'd like them. I didn't so much. When I first started riding, and I didn't know to buy quality gear and safe gear, I started with these Icons. They're maybe 20 or 30 bucks. And when the weather gets really hot and I can't quite slip into these leather gloves, I still do wear these. They are extremely comfortable. They flow very well, and I can still get into my pockets and get keys or wallet or cell phone or whatever, punch in my garage door code, do all that good stuff with these gloves on. They're very comfortable, but I don't think in a crash they give you the protection that you really need. That's why I got these rev'it gloves. They're leather, and they're actually pretty thin. I like the build quality a lot. Hard knuckles, I think they're about $100, so as far as gloves go, they're very affordable. The only problem I'm having is one of these, I don't know what you want to call this, but the protector here for the wrist is starting to rub away. And I'm not sure where that came from. Maybe it's always been like that. Maybe it's something I'm doing when I'm on the bike. But it doesn't seem like that's going to make or break in a fall. About cold weather is, I think, 2 or 3 fingers right up at the fingertips when I'm riding. I'd say maybe under 50 degrees, 40 degrees. The fingertips start to get very cold on long rides. But other than that, these are excellent. I'd still give them, well, I want to give them 5 out of 5. I'd probably give them about a 4.5 out of 5. Here's my Scorpion XO 500. I have some extra GoPro mounts on it, and it's got lots of bugs and rock chips and stuff, but this is an excellent helmet. I also invested in a balaclava, which goes over your head. It helps keep the heat in your head, the cold off your chest and your neck in wintertime, and I highly recommend one of those. But more to the helmet. I think it was $200 or less. This Top Gun style visor, it doesn't do a fantastic job, but it works well enough to keep the sun glare down, and at nighttime you just pop it back up. You don't have to carry another visor with you, because with my last helmet I hated changing visors. When I started to break this in, it started to get a teeny bit loose. It actually has an air pump underneath, like the old Nikes, so you can puff up the cheeks a little bit and give you that proper fit. Also, you might have noticed that I installed a quick release. I guess it was about 10 bucks from my local bike store. It was easy to install, and it makes it super easy to take the helmet off. You just squeeze with one hand, pops off. And this is actually, I believe it's Snell approved. So it's not like I got some little plastic clip that's going to break on impact. And I also really like that. And tip, if you're going to put your helmet on a shelf, just a screw and a little piece of wood to keep it from falling off. I've also gone through a couple of backpacks and tank bags. Now, most of the time I use, a plain old JanSport backpack. But what I like about it is there's a strap that runs between the two shoulder straps, so you can pull it tight on your chest so it stays off your shoulders. I actually broke one of my shoulders. It didn't heal right, so keeping the weight on the chest makes it more comfortable for me. But maybe it's hot. Maybe you don't want to show up somewhere with your back all sweaty. So I got this Icon backpack tank bag. It's got a lot of room inside. It's pretty lightweight. It's got these 4 magnets. It fit my last bike better than it fits the FZ, but these magnets, they're just not very strong. I don't trust these magnets at highway speeds, and if I do, I've normally got my chest most of the way down against the backpack to hold it in position. But the reason I got this particular bag is you can pop some straps out up here and wear it like a backpack, but as you do that, you can also use this to hook your helmet into the bag. So if you have to go to the grocery store and you want to pick up a few things, instead of leaving your helmet on the bike where somebody can take it, you can wrap it in this and take it with you. Yeah, the straps are real thin. They're real uncomfortable. I always feel like the helmet's going to pop out of the back here. I don't really like it. It's not worth the money. There's a few other backpacks that will do the same thing, and at some point I hope to get one of those that's really a backpack that'll hold your helmet instead of kind of a backpack, kind of a tank bag that doesn't do a really good job at either. So on the Icon tank bag backpack, I would say pass. This is my Joe Rocket Manta XL. First of all, if you're going to buy something like this, don't buy one any smaller than the XL because you will be very, very disappointed. The XL has super strong magnets, even if you don't deploy these little fins, which you can actually tuck them inside the bag so they're not just flopping all out. But this holds on very, very strongly. There is a jack here if you have a GPS and you want to listen to directions or you have an MP3 player. I also have earplugs just in case. Up here, you've got a good spot for your cell phone. Inside, it has a decent amount of space, and that's about as far as I'm going to go. I have barely fit a pair of flip-flops and a bottle of water in here. I don't know if you can tell, but that's about as much as it'll fit. You might be able to fit 4 bottles of beer, something like that. You don't have a lot of room, but if you just want some place to toss your wallet, keys, maybe something like that, a liner for your jacket, and you just want to ride, but you don't want a backpack on, this is a really good alternative. Now, you might be buying gear for the first time, you might be buying gear for the 100th time. I learned a couple of things. Spend what you have to spend to get a quality product. If you cheap out, like I did on my first helmet or some other things like that, if you cheap out, you're going to regret it. So pay what you have to get a quality product the first time. You'll be much happier in the long run. I hope I helped some of you guys make some decisions for gear that you might buy in the future. Some of my favorites are the Icon Tarmac boots, Scorpion Exo helmet, big fan of my Joe Rocket blaster, and they're not hanging up because I don't have a new pair yet, but my Fieldsheer Titanium Airmesh pants. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe. Have a nice day.